Hi, Virgos. Welcome to Adik Tarot, the beginning of the truth. My name is Wakida. I am a spirit advisor, and I'm here to provide you with a spread to help guide you with energies you may need to release and let go of from now until the end of April of 2019. Now, this message is for Virgos, anyone with Virgo in their chart, guided to my channel, and cross watchers as well. Keep in mind, this is a general message and it may not resonate with everyone. This message intent is strictly for guidance. Now, for this spread, I'll be referring to the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck by John Holland for additional spirit guidance for this month. So, okay, Virgos, let's get to your reading. Now, for the underlying energy from now until the end of April of 2019, we have the energies of the Magician. And the Magician is a card that speaks of a major change that's taking place in your life. And it's stepping into a cycle of a new beginning. And with the Magician, it brings a message for you to remember and knowledge and acknowledge the power that you have within yourself at this time, and acknowledge that you have all the keys and all the elements available within you to make anything that you desire come to life. Now, also with this underlying energy, a card came out of the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is Virgo. It represents Virgo. And this Hermit card also, again, talks about a major time in your life where you need to go and look within yourself to find the answers and rebuild that knowledge within yourself, and know that, a lot of answers aren't without you, they're within inside of you. But with this Hermit being in a reverse, where you have to go within, but you're going within and you're at a point where you're reaching this end of this cycle and entering a new cycle, but you may not like what you're seeing now. And the thing about the Hermit reverse is like you're feeling lonely while you're in this isolation. And again, you're isolating yourself, feeling like you may have lost your way, where you're not willing to get to the bottom of the issue. So you're taking this time and going within, but not looking at the issue exactly for what it is. And because you're not liking what you're seeing right now, you're refusing to have that acceptance, and you're refusing to, learn and reborn yourself in a situation, or rebirth, just to start anew with this lesson to go in this new cycle. So instead of isolating yourself and taking that isolation to the negative, you have to come out and communicate and ask questions that you may need the answer that you can't find by yourself. Maybe speak to someone about what you're going through, where when you get another perspective, you're able to look at it from a different situation. Now, for the underlying energies and the guidance we have for you this month, Virgo, it's all about your mental, your thoughts in this matter. The thoughts that you're experiencing, or from that cycle that you came from, and it has you in mental conflict and causing you to be in a stagnation mode because you're unable to make a decision. So for guidance, we have the card of a number 2, which talks about balance. It talks about two things representing, a different or opposing options or what have you. And with this number 2, it's about the wisdom that you've obtained in these experiences. And you have to use what you know and what you've learned through this experience in order to make a valid decision. And this card for your mental conflict, Virgo, states that this card deals with the inability to move forward as self-doubt emerges from indecisiveness or not being able to take action with a person, group, or even a situation in your present life. It may not be an easy decision, but you're already aware of this. Just remember that you have the strength, courage, and power to make all the necessary considerations. When you decide to act and finally make the choices that need to be made, then and only then will a resolution be forthcoming, and with it a sense of mental relief. There is assistance out there for you, so seek out and listen to wise counsel to help you make the right decisions. Listen to your intuition and have faith in yourself. Peace and harmony will soon be yours. So, by going back and meditating, Virgo, and getting reconnected with yourself, and looking at this situation for what it is, it can prevent you from suffering in silence, where you're able to get this stuff out. A lot of times it's not recommended to hold things in. Holding things in can cause stress. It can cause dis-ease that may not be immediately recognizable, where if you continue to hold that dis-ease in, it can turn into disease. So you have to understand to, sit back, take some time in a quiet place to yourself, center yourself again by breathing in through your nose, breathing the bullshit out, and trying to, take yourself out of the situation so you can look at it from a different perspective, where you're not suffering in silence, where you're able to rebirth yourself into a new cycle, being reborn through the challenges that you went through in this last cycle. So we have another guidance card for your this underlying energies of suffering and silence, Virgo. And this card talks about the number 9, and it denoting completion. And it says that you're finally ready to let go of those limiting negative beliefs, or are you? Or are you allowing these issues in your life to become bigger than they really are? Your mind has been doing quite a job on you lately, and even your dreams may be trying to get your attention. When you learn to let go of the worry, despair, and sense of hopelessness, a positive new way or path will be shown to you. Now, this card talks about when you're in your fear and you're confronted with your fears, and how, mental anguish continues, because you stay in your mind about situations. And this card comes to you as guidance and from the spirit as a reminder for you to take action and trust that your soul and the power of spirit will grasp you firmly by the hand and guide you. But you must take the first step toward healing and let go of this mental distress. Do not suffer in silence, Virgo. Reach out for the help that is available to you. And when you go back and, you meditate, you pray about whatever the situation is, and you ask for guidance, from the universe, from the spirit, just reconnect with your soul, and it's going to come to you. You just have to take the first step. And when you go towards getting back in touch with your soul, your inner child, and your higher self, you'll understand through these situations, these challenges that you face was in order for you to recognize the importance of balance and harmony in your life. And you recognize and see the growth that's taking place and how you can overcome these challenges. And it's important to leave bad situations behind. And when you do, you gain a better and greater understanding of who you are, right now. If you're able to let the past be the past, understand the lesson that was meant to be learned, and move on knowing yourself better in this situation. So we have a card, a number 6, for guidance towards your physical and material world. And this card for guidance is for material and spiritual prosperity. And this card of the number 6 for guidance states that the number 6 physical card represents a peaceful, tranquil time when problem seems to actually disappear. A sudden bonus, pay raise, or even a promotion could be an offering. It could be expected or arrive out of the blue. This card may also signify a group that has worked and strived towards the success of a common goal. A time of prosperity, balance, and harmony in your physical and spiritual existence is showing you that the practice of giving and receiving will bring you true riches. Look into your life and see where you can spread spiritual and physical wealth. Is there a person or a favorite charity that would welcome an act of kindness right now? Practice generosity, gratitude, and compassion so that you continue to prosper in all areas of your life. Because again, right now, Virgo, it's a major change happening in your life. And it's important for you to acknowledge the wisdom that you've obtained thus far and have an understanding of yourself, the people in your life, and the need to sacrifice. So you guys had a lot of cards that came out for this time frame for guidance, and I'm going to explain them to you. Or I'm going to, refer to this Psychic Tarot book and let you know. So through this new cycle, Virgo, that you are experiencing, it's important to have knowledge of yourself, understand the wisdom that was needed, that you've obtained to this point where you have a full understanding of the people in your life, understanding how communication is important, understanding that in some situations you have to sacrifice. And this card for this major change in this new cycle, telling you you have to sacrifice, states that powerful achievements are usually born as a result of great sacrifice. This card represents self-sacrifice in a time when you should look around your life to see what needs to be released. By surrendering and letting go, there will be more room to receive. The rewards for this are transformation, wisdom, gratitude, and enlightenment. This card signifies that there's a situation happening or about to occur in your life, and you can't control the outcome. This would be a good moment to pause, rest, have patience, reflect, and meditate. It would be wise to stand back so you can learn to look at events with a more understanding, intuitive eye. Try to view people, issues, or problems from a different perspective. From a different perspective. And if you can achieve this, it will have a profound effect on your soul and your life. The sacrifice card can also symbolize a period of transition and change. The solutions you seek may be slow in coming, for it could be necessary to live into the answers. Accept the things that you can't control. Heal and leave the past behind. Move toward your future and watch for new doors opening and paths that are being shown to you. Because right now, Virgo, it's all about balance. It's all about, you applying what you've learned up until this point and helping and assisting others, and you reaching out to others and, being able to discuss, and they can give you valid information as well. But understanding balance is necessary. Matters cannot be one-sided. You can't look for something and to receive something and not be able to give. And that's how you create balanced relationships. So, Virgo, it's all about the balance in your life. And once you're able to understand about this balance and how important it is to give and receive, you'll reach a point of victory and success in your life. And for this present moment, the card for guidance we have is for your spirit about victory and success. And this again is a card of a number 6 about equality in relationships, and again, giving and receiving, balance and harmony. And the guidance card said that this victory and success card is good, shows that good news is on its way. The qualities of this positive card are completion, victory, and success that often follow a difficult period. Many people around you are very proud to see how triumphantly you came through it. They respect you and even may attempt to follow your example. You've worked hard and devoted much effort to get to this point in your life where you've become wiser and have grown in so many ways. Always remember to stop and pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. This card also reminds you to stay grounded. Remember where you came from and keep your ego in check. Don't lose who you really are. This victory can be used as a teaching tool for the future. Realize that if you came through this challenging time, you can achieve anything. And you can, Virgo. So don't get too stuck up in your head about what happened, and don't get stagnated being indecisive. It's about, again, in order to make these decisions, you have to look at the situation for what it is and take some time. You don't have to make this decision right now, but while you're in this state and you may be having this time alone, turn it back around to you going within. And by going within, you're connecting with God. You're connecting with your higher self. You're connecting with your spirit. And by taking that time and taking those deep breaths in through your nose, breathing the bullshit that is out through your mouth, it's going to allow you to ground and center yourself. And by praying and, connecting back to the divine, connecting with maybe a trusted friend that you could let some of it out and hear yourself and step outside of the situation and look at it from another view, you are going to receive that victory and success that you're looking for. And again, you have all the keys necessary. So by staying in your head, it's not doing nothing but creating more conflict because you're not communicating. It's others involved in the situation. So in order to have a true understanding, you have to communicate with those others. Ask the necessary questions that you need to be answered. Go back within and look at it without those emotions, and then you'll be able to make a valid decision going off of what's best for you. because right now, Virgo, you may be feeling like, um, you're not, there's an issue with communication. There's an issue with working with others. There's an issue with understanding the situation for exactly what it is. And, it's again brings you back to balance and, not thinking that you have all the answers. And even if, you're right, you might know a right way of doing something, it's more than one way to do a situation. And instead of not being willing to work and communicate with others, you'll never get it. It's not showing respect for others' point of view. It's not all about how you deal with situations. It's always the opportunity to learn and grow in situations. So Virgo, very important to connect back to your soul. Take that time alone. And when you're alone, don't go to those dark thoughts of, feeling like you lost your way. Ask for assistance. Get connected back and listen to your soul and, connect back to the beautiful positive energies that the universe, that your higher self, that God has for us. And this spirit card is another guidance card for your spirit, and it's about, your foundation and your achievements, and it's about you being able to be free within who you are and accepting that. And this guidance card, the card in the number 4, states that this card confirms that what you've been building is now firmly established with a strong and solid foundation. You deserve this, and it's time for you to harvest the rewards for your efforts. What you sowed, you can reap. Be open to receive as you work hard and have given so much. Allow the universe to give a little back to you, for there has to be an even exchange of giving and receiving in order to prime the pump of gratitude and reinforce the law of attraction. Using the more traditional meaning in this card, it represents a period for celebration, peace, and prosperity. It may also imply a marriage or the buying of land or a new home. As you enjoy this time of relaxation that you so deserve, know that nothing remains stagnant and the winds of change are always at your door. So having faith in, what you want for yourself, and having faith in the circumstances, having faith in, again, yourself, and understanding that it's okay to work with others and being able to communicate and listen for, an understanding of others and yourself is the best way to have that foundation and achievements that you definitely want, where, you can work with the elements that you have. You can teach others as you're learning yourself, and, you're practical and dependable. Now, you may be feeling, this mental conflict about situations so strong because, let's say your knight in Charmin armor hasn't appeared, or that knight that that you are, or, that person, that you are, or, maybe a person in your life, a Virgo, that's you, Taurus, a Capricorn, the situation may be coming slow and you're not seeing results, maybe within yourself. And again, you're not seeing immediate results in the situation. And you have to understand that luck is on your side in this situation. You have to understand that patience is important. You have to understand, you have to make the decision on what you want. And when you go towards that decision, take it slow, step by step. Look at people, look at the situation, don't be in a rush to make something happen. See the situation through one step at a time. Dot your T's, cross your, or cross, what is it? Dot your I's, cross your T's, or what have you. And, take your time and make sure everything is done methodically. Make sure that it's done, sufficiently, where you don't have to go back and, go over a situation again. Take your time with the situation. And for guidance right now, it's a guidance about, this conflict and the challenges that you've experienced within your emotions. And it's a guidance towards the emotional loss that, you may have dealt with throughout this situation or throughout that old cycle. And you have to address that emotional feeling or the loss in your emotions that you're feeling, and understand that this conflict came and these challenges came to refine the power that's within you. And we have a card for guidance in this place, and it's about the emotional loss towards your emotions. And this card of guidance for your emotions and emotional loss states that the number 5 emotions card comes forth at a time when you may be experiencing or grieving a loss of someone or something you were emotionally attached to. Honor your feelings only by healing and loving yourself. By letting go of the past, it can continue on the forward journey. You cannot keep holding on to what happened in the past. You have to address it, accept it, and move on. But if you don't address it, if you don't accept your part in the situation, and you don't, look for understanding from that other party, you're going to stay stuck in that past situation because you're not willing to deal with it and move on. So this suffering is associated with the suffering associated with this loss delivers profound wisdom and knowledge for your soul. Your unique gifts, talents, and abilities, as well as your joys and sorrows, will not only make up who you really are, but better yet, who you will become. The painful experiences of life are equally as valuable as the joyous ones. Focus all your positive energy on the good in your life and what you're grateful for. Use your healing energy in this way and try not to focus on what you've lost, for new beginnings and happiness are just around the corner. Virgo, remember the star that you are, the star that's inside of you. And remember, in situations, it's not about, just the physical realm of things. It's not just about, the situation isn't about just what you see in front of you. Have hope. Have faith within yourself. Have faith within this situation. Have faith within God and the powers of the universe. And, remember that star that you are. Remember, the beauty that's still available by using positive energy and balancing, understanding that, to get through this world successfully, we have to tap into the spirit. We have to tap back into our soul. Sometimes, we have to go to the divine and meditate and pray for God for guidance, and have hope that you're going to have that guidance is available to you, and knowing that and trusting that. And by you going back in and, going back in and meditating and getting back in touch with your higher self, you'll be able to release these feelings by understanding that you may have invested a lot of your time and emotions in a situation. But by reconnecting with your higher self, reconnecting with the divine and, the universe and your soul, you'll understand that, where this, that you'll understand that cycle, and you'll understand that that cycle was placed to build who you are and destroy the negativity, that you've acquired up until this point. And, walk away and go towards, what fulfills you. And although you may have invested a lot in a situation, it's okay to walk away from what doesn't serve you or make you feel fulfilled. And by understanding that, you'll be able to release this feeling by understanding that you're going through a transformation from this last cycle. And understanding it's about you being free to be and express who you are, and knowing that. And it's about, by you being free within yourself, you're able to take a step back and, get back in tune with the things that you want, and, the goal that's at hand, where by stepping into your higher self, you can achieve a stable foundation by being in the, now. And, by, acknowledging what brought you here and understanding what you need to move forward. And that's about that, the culture of who you are and being free to be just that. So for guidance for this major change that you're experiencing, and the guidance for understanding it's okay to walk away from an investment that is no longer fulfilling you. It's okay to walk away from situations that, again, doesn't serve you and make you happy, and to learn from those experiences and walk into a new journey towards this spiritual awakening that you've learned through this last experience. And the card for guidance we have here is the major change of the transformation that you are facing. And this card of transformation speaks of a time of ending being close at hand. And it's asking you not to resist the abrupt changes that are suddenly happening in your life. These could be taking place in your personal life, relationships, business, or career. Know that you have the strength, as the transformation card asks you to have courage and to know that renewal follows every conclusion. This card comes for to remind you that the death of an old way of thinking and believing must occur before you can move forward on your new path. Transformation is all about the ebb and flow of life cycles. Nothing in this life remains motionless. Everything is on its way to somewhere. Accept the changes, and opportunity will expand you in more ways than you could have ever imagined. You can't live in the past. It's time to move on. In order to take the next positive step, you should look closely at your own life and yourself and ask yourself, are there loose ends that need to be tied up? Are there people in my life whom I need to express myself to? And what needs to be completed so I can have a fresh start? When you do so, you'll have a stronger and more reinforced foundation to carry you through the new beginnings that is awaiting you. So you can't go in this new beginning off of what you or how you moved in that last cycle. Or you're just going to continue to repeat the same cycles until you change your perspective, enlighten yourself, awaken yourself, connect back to your higher self, and then you could see things for what they is and not be trapped by the negative energy that's holding you from making a decision. And understanding by being stuck in thought and by staying there, it's going to hold you trapped. And it could really damage you by staying stuck in your head and not moving forward, where, it's nothing to gain in the way that, you're going right now. And if you go back and you meditate and you remember who you are and connect back into your soul, all this mental conflict and, the emotional loss and this energy of you staying in the past, by connecting back to your higher self, you're going to, no longer want to be in conflict with others. You're going to be willing to communicate with others. And you're going to know that it's not all about winning in situations. It's not about hurting people. It's not about, just getting back at people. And again, it's not about hurting people. And when you connect back to your higher self, you're going to be able to address the conflict and the defeat that you've been experiencing. You're going to be able to address the challenges that you've had, and you're going to be able to refine that power within yourself by addressing the conflict and defeat. And there's a message for spirit, because this conflict and defeat is all in your mind. And this mental card for conflict and defeat, Virgo, states that the number 5 mental card represents significant learning and change, and how you handle yourself at this time is vital to your overall well-being. This card could relate to a lack of sensitivity in taking action or in response to conditions or situations around you. This need for sensitivity could relate to you or someone else in your life. Even though a battle can be won, it's important to evaluate the cost and the pain to both parties. Sometimes it's best to surrender and walk away if no answer or victory can be achieved. Don't assign blame, become deceitful, or set out to get revenge, for this results in a negative energy becoming a part of you. You are being tested in how delicately and gently you take your next step. Remember, everything in your life is an opportunity to learn and grow. Because in matters, Virgo, you are smart, you are analytical, you have a sharp tongue, you have a sharp mind, yet sometimes you could move with this knowledge and things recklessly. And sometimes you could say things without thinking, you can do things and not thinking about how your actions affect others. So no matter, this mental conflict that you're dealing with, it can turn into resentment. And don't be resentful. And understanding, stepping away from your ego and understanding that, it's not always important to win in situations. It's about the growth and learning throughout life. And if you can tap back into that, you'll be able to rise above these situations by being willing to take a leap of faith into the new, and by being willing to start this cycle fresh and leaving the past behind and only taking with you that knowledge and wisdom and understanding of that last cycle. Only taking with you the trust and the faith and the strength of your higher self. Only taking with you the guidance from the divine, connecting with your soul. Only taking with you, again, that light that's inside of you into the new journey, and not allowing that negative energy to follow you, and not keep allowing the situations from the past to rebirth into this new cycle. Let that die with the old and start new with what you learned. And by doing that, Virgo, our card for guidance again, because you're going through this major change in your life, and it's about, the guidance right now is for this disruption where you may not feel whole in yourself. You feel like everything is out of sorts. You may be going through situation causing disruption outside of you and inside of you. And know that again, these situations are coming for to reawaken you back to your spirit, back to God, back to your inner child, and back to, you got, acclimated with all the, negative energy and negative people and negative thoughts and negative situations. And this card for guidance for this major change that you're experiencing going into a new cycle states that, excuse me, a sudden, usually unforeseen disruption or major change is happening or it's about to happen. Even if it appears to be a negative experience, it can lead to enlightenment or a total shift in your lifestyle. Now, this card of disruption represents like a fallen tower. And it's because, what's false or a foundation that's not sturdy and built on solid ground is going to come down. Eventually, it's going to crumble if a situation was built on false and nothing firm. So, whichever part of your life that's experiencing this disruption, it's asking you to focus on this as being an opportunity to rebuild a solid foundation created with positive structure in order to make your situation stronger. There are times when the most difficult situations arise in your life. If you choose to, they can act as a catalyst to heal other areas. They're beneficial because they're truly your greatest teachers. Learn from past mistakes, accept them, and integrate them into your life as stepping stones. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This disruption card is a reminder that negative thinking, limiting beliefs, ignoring problematic situations, and risky or careless lifestyles must be addressed so that positive changes can take place. Life has a habit of moving you forward whether you're ready or not. Transformation of body, mind, and soul can happen if you view this dramatic time or change as an opportunity for growth. In the future, you may look back and be thankful for this whole opportunity because this opportunity is allowing you or turning you into a more grounded, methodical, logical thinker, a helper, someone people comes to, when they're in need or in trouble to talk and to, help understand matters. This is making you be, grounded and stern in who you are. And by connecting with your inner soul, connecting with your higher self, connecting with God and the divine, it's going to allow your new beginning to be where you know that you have to go within and know that you have to connect with your soul. You have to pray. You have to stay grounded, and you can't just make rash decisions just for immediate gratification. You'll know that your new beginning is going to be where you understand that anything worth having is worth putting the proper work into. And you'll be able to understand that, it's important to go for your dreams, and it's important to plant those seeds, and it's important to put the work in, and it's important to watch how, things build up and how things grow by you putting the work in, by understanding it's important to give and receive. And just by looking at the situation as it progressing and understanding and seeing that if you take your time in matters, you'll be able to see changes that need to be made in the process, and you'll learn to trust the process. And your new beginning is going to be where you'll be able to rejoice in celebration because you have that understanding of yourself, and you have that understanding of the importance of communication, and that helps you to also understand others in a situation where you're able to rejoice in celebration. And the lesson that you would have learned through this experience is that, again, in any relationship, business, family, love, it's about the communication. It's about, being able to understand others in a situation and not just thinking about yourself. You would have learned in, situations, it's important to think about, what you want for the future. You'll know that it's important not to make instant decisions just for immediate gratification, knowing that that immediate gratification is basically useless. It's only that immediate gratification, but it ceases easily and early, and you'll understand that you have to put that work in and be patient and allow, your ships to come in. And what you would have learned throughout this experience is about temptation and understanding that, it's about, in situation, always the knowledge, having that knowledge and that love for yourself, and knowing that situations are sent here to help us refine that power within us, and understanding that it's not always just about you in a relationship. And in order to have, balance and be fruitful and, have the things that we want properly, we have to give as in order to receive. And you would have learned that, being in your mind is a place that you've chosen to be. And you could get out of these negative thoughts by just taking that step and making that choice to think positively and build on your higher self. So that's what I have for you, and the energies that you need to release right now, Virgo. Release that negative energy. Release the mental conflict, feeling like you've been defeated through these situations, feeling like you want to give up. Remember who you are and that you've done it before. You've had situations where you said you wanted something, you set out properly to get it, using all the tools that's within you, and you was able to achieve it. So understanding with this power that you have within you, it can be used negatively with manipulation, with, looking for instant gratification by not thinking before you act. But this can have you prosperity and longevity, when you know that you have to put that work in to receive. So, lastly, Virgo, I have additional advice for you for this month. I'm going to pull 2 cards from our angel answers for advice for this, for advice from now into the end of April. And the advice from our angel answers says that within the next few months, Virgo, and the next few weeks, you're going to see big, happy changes. So Virgo, thank you for your time. And again, this is Adik Tarot, the beginning of the truth. All the information is in the description box on how to reach me. I am available for personal readings. So just reach me in my email, addictarot at the beginning of the truth. Thank you for your time, Virgo. Bye-bye.